Hello, my name is Sarah Griffo, and I am recording this video as a reflection of my experience at the IDHA Student Faculty Conference, October of 2020. So I wanted to start with two takeaways from the morning conference with Amanda Hill. So the big theme of the morning session was curiosity, which I thought was great because that's, as students, it's the best time to be curious. Several times throughout the program, and even last spring semester, I very vividly remember an instructor being like, it's just in our nature to be curious and to want to know more, but you have to take those little baby steps to get there. And so being a student, you're very curious, but sometimes you can lose that curiosity as your career moves on. So she talked about curiosity with self, profession, education, clients. So in our case, clients would be patients, and then team. So, and that acronymed out to be SPECT, so SPECT. So the curiosity, I just, that's kind of why we're here. It's really staying curious. I know it can be hard to stay curious sometimes in a career after 15, 20 plus years, even after, less time than that, but it can be easy to lose your curiosity. So she had some really great insight on that. And then I also thought curiosity was self. So the tests that you take. So she said the Colby A index was one of them, an Enneagram, and then the one that I did actually on the drive home, I was driving, so I had a friend read them to me, obviously, but was the DISC personality test. So my husband has taken these personality tests for his work before in the past, and it's always just been very interesting, and he's always told me you're a gold, you're such a gold, you have the personality of a gold. And it's oh, I don't know what that means. And so this DISC personality is similar with, it's a personality test, but what I would have answered for myself, I'm really glad that I had friends in there with me doing it, or giving their input, because I would say one answer and it wasn't necessarily the wrong answer, it's just what I thought. They would say, no, this totally fits you more. This is so much like you, and maybe not giving yourself enough credit in some areas or too much in others. So I really found it interesting how you can, how that can differ just by the environment you're in. So me being around friends versus me being by myself versus if I were doing it with my sister or something, that would be, I might get three different scores or three different letters for each one of those. So the afternoon conference then was about building a resume, what to put in your resume, making connections. So we've all kind of maybe had practice building a resume, but I really thought one key takeaway, one interesting thing was you really want to remember this. It's I wrote it down, remember this for future. The key words that the employer is putting into the job description, try to incorporate that into your resume or your cover letter or, your cover page. which makes so much sense. It's truly like a light bulb, but it's maybe something that gets overlooked. Another thing that I thought was kind of interesting that I think is just maybe it was standard practice when I graduated, and it just makes sense now, was delete to references available upon request. So you don't really need to have references available upon request in there. They're going to call someone if they want to call someone. So you don't have to put that in there. It's implied, which maybe that's just changed in the last 15-20 years, because of the social media. People can look out and see anything that they want to, and you don't really need to go digging for references maybe. Or another good thing is mingling, stuff like that. So I just thought that was interesting. There was a lot of notes. Another great point from the afternoon session that I would never have thought of, just being new to the dental world environment, and also because I've been in the same job for the last 15 years. So would be to ask to see a few days of the schedule, and when asking, ask to see a few days of the schedule ahead, when you're asking what a typical day looks like in the office, because like she said, the employer is going to tell you the ideal day instead of a typical day. And then if you ask to see what a few days of the schedule looks like, knowing if they have 30-minute appointments or 1-hour appointments or an hour and a half for a new patient, that makes a big difference. And knowing that ahead of time, you can kind of be like, whoa, I don't know if this is going to be the right fit for me or not, or you can ask questions based upon it there. So and my advice for next year for anybody going in the future would be to be excited about going. It's a big opportunity for you to be able to mingle and make connections and ask questions and get to know other schools and other representatives, and the panel at the end when the ladies were talking, these conferences are when you get to see your peers a lot after school. You might not work in the same office or the same area, and so conferences like this are an awesome opportunity to reconnect, or to network. Also, one of them had talked about how she learned who to work for and who not to, which you're free to make that decision on your own, but it's just really great to have that input, because we're all kind of we're all in the same field, so it's nice to have that camaraderie and have that. And just, I think it's a big eye-opener knowing that last year with COVID, not being able to have these conferences and these get-togethers, it's a big eye-opener on how valuable they really are. So those are my takeaways from the IDHA Fall of 2020 conference. Thank you.